Dear property selling professionals, greeting to one and all of you. I hope that you are keeping safe and doing your best to fight off the pandemic fatigue and yet excel in your auto selling. Yes, by the way, Madam Florence and I, Madam Sophia, virtual assistants to CTM Joseph, are honored to talk to you about this month's e-property selling club's newsletter. All right, to continue, we must say, despite the challenging time we have been through, we can look forward to this health crisis as more Malaysian are being vaccinated. Enough of our intro. Shall I, Madam Sophia, VA, preview the breaking news headlines first? Shall we? Thanks. Firstly, breaking news number 1, new life for disused warehouse, inland marina. Secondly, breaking news number 2, more rent relief for Negri traders and residents. Thirdly, breaking news number 3, value of construction works Q2 jumps. Lastly, breaking news number 4, 1 free chapter of book How to Close Every Sales and Every Time. Let us kickstart the first breaking news. Breaking news number 1, new life for disused warehouse, inland marina. 3 warehouse buildings in Swettenham Pier, Penang, and the inland portion of Tanjung City Marina off Weld Quay will be handed to the private sector to be turned into tourist attractions. Penang Port Commission, PPC, Chairman Datuk Tan Tiak Cheng said PPC had invited interested companies between November 16 last year and March 15 to submit proposals. He said several companies had submitted proposals and an evaluation process by several committees was carried out to choose a successful bidder. After the evaluation by several groups and professional teams, including Valuation and Property Services Department, and after obtaining approval from the Board of Directors, PPC will hand over management rights to the company in early August. A consensus has been reached to create a one-stop tourism destination that includes shopping and tourism centers at Swettenham Pier, which will drive vibrant economic activities and benefit the state, he said in a statement. He added that signing of the lease agreement would be done soon. Lease for warehouses 5, 7, and 8 as well as the inland portion of Tanjung City Marina is for a period of 30 years, with an extension option for 15 more years. This development will be a flagship project in Malaysia, said Tan. More cruise ships will be attracted to make the pier their home port. Swettenham Pier Cruise Terminal, SPCT, will be fully upgraded, and at the same time, warehouses 5, 7 and 8, which have been unused and not in operation for a long time, will be renovated. The inland area of Tanjung City Marina can be further developed to complement the cruise ship industry. SPCT's berth was extended from 400 m to 620 m on May 31. This will allow 2 large cruise ships to berth at SPCT at the same time, with a capacity of 12,000 tourists simultaneously, he said. In line with Georgetown's status as a UNESCO's World Heritage Site, warehouses 5, 7 and 8 will retain their original appearance after renovation and enhancement. The project is expected to be completed in 2024. Source: The Star Papers. August 6, 2021. That said, let's view the next breaking news. Shall we? Breaking news number 2, more rent relief for Negri traders and residents. Seremban, those renting state government-owned stalls and housing units will be given another month's waiver to help them cushion the effects of COVID-19, says Menteri Besar Datuk Seri Aminuddin Harun. He said 6,114 traders, including those operating at markets owned by local councils, did not have to pay rent for the month of July. Another 2,647 families occupying state government-owned units and *474 living in People's Housing Project (PPR) dwellings will also be exempted from paying rent for the month of September. We have waived rent for the stalls for the months of January, February, and June previously, and have now decided to waive for another month to help the traders. As for the housing units, the rent was also waived for the months of June, July, and August, and at today's EXCO meeting, we agreed to allow them to stay for free for September, he told reporters after chairing the state EXCO meeting yesterday. He said the entire exercise would cost the state government some Rm 3.8 mil. Separately, Aminuddin said those involved in the tourism industry should be fully vaccinated so that they could benefit once the state moves into Phase 2 of the National Recovery Plan. Source: The Star. 11 August 2021. Are you happy looking at the first 2 breaking news? If yes, then let's look at the next breaking news. Alright. Breaking news number 3, value of construction works Q2 jumps. Kuala Lumpur, the value of construction work done in the second quarter of this year, Q2, increased by 42.6% to Rm 28.20 BIL from a year ago but showed a decline from the first quarter due to the restrictions imposed from the COVID-19 pandemic. The value fell by 10.5% in Q2 from the Rm 31.4 BIL in Q1, according to the Statistics Department in its quarterly construction data issued yesterday. Chief Statistician Dadaksari Dr. Madhusur Mahidhan said the Special Trades Activities subsector expanded by 75% in Q2 from a year ago. The other three subsectors, namely, civil engineering, 59.5%, non-residential buildings, 37%, and residential buildings, 18%, registered growth from a year ago. Madhusur said the value of construction work done was dominated by the civil engineering subsector since fourth quarter 2015, and it accounted for the largest segment at 40.7%. The value of construction work for non-residential buildings was 28.2%, residential buildings at 22.6% and special trades activities at 8.6%. The private sector continued to account for more than half of construction activity at 53.7% or Rm 15.2 BIL. On the other hand, the public sector accounted for 46.3% or Rm 13.1 BIL. For the first half 2021, the value of construction work done recorded was Rm 59.6 BIL, with an 8.7% growth as compared to the same period last year, he said. Source: The Star 11 August 2021. Here is the last but not the least. Agree? Breaking new number 4 1 free chapter of book How to Close Every Sale and Every Time. Before finishing this August 2021 e-real estate selling newsletter, Madam Sophia has been asked by CTM Joseph Ng, your sales and marketing expert, to present the last breaking news to my virtual colleague Madam Florence VA. Alright, thanks. Over to you, Madam Florence.
Thank you, Madam Sophia, for allowing me to say more about the free books, Closing the Sale. It's the chapter on trial closing. Before continuing, may I introduce myself as Madam Florence. Okay. Chapter 2. Trial closing for selling effectiveness. Quote, your trial closing question should be non-threatening when you first begin to question the prospect, by Ron Willingham in his book The Bestseller. The New Psychology of Selling and Persuading People. During the tea break in one of my workshop sessions in Penang, one salesman shared this trial close with me. He told me that his method of closing was not just to ask his prospect many times to buy, but he followed a plan that engaged repetition as one of its vital forces. After he has generally given a basic demonstration of his product, he would present an alternative trial close. He would then say to the chef of that hotel, would you want to pay by our payment A scheme or B scheme for this large consignment of orange juices? My participants said that if this trial close technique is to work, it has to be worded so that the answer is either a yes or a yes. Whether the chef says he will pay under scheme A or B, it doesn't matter because the answer is still yes, his hotel will buy. Personally, I would advise that you can begin asking trial closing questions during your demonstration step after you've asked enough needs development questions. Your questions should not be a threat at this early stage of the presentation. Then in your sales interview, you can get more direct with them. Here are a few additional typical trial question or opinion getting questions that you can safely ask. Notice as you read, they increase in directness. How does it sound to you? Or, what do you think of this feature? And maybe, which of these do you like best? Each and every example given above will help you think of other trial close questions that will help sell your product or service. From the time you begin your demonstration to the point that you feel a close is appropriate, your objective is to get opinion, reactions, feelings or feedback. The trial close questions give you these. I'll repeat, you can get this information without being threatening or pushy. These types of questions get your prospect talking and you are listening. It helps them sort out their own thinking and sell themselves. It impresses them that you, not just trying to cram something down their throat. It's just another trust-building activity. It also gives you lots of information about where you are with prospect. Quote, set aside half a day for practicing your presentation and adapting as many trails, closing as possible. Rehearse the exact words as gesture you will use. By McMahon. Apart from verbal trial closes, there are some others that are based on salesperson's movements. An example would be when you, the salesperson, picks up the order book, walk towards the cash register, or start to wrap the purchase. Some salespeople that I have encountered in my sales seminar have mastered this silent trial closes. There was this particular salesperson who told me that he simply stopped talking and gazed intently at the buyer, hoping to hear of a decision to purchase the item. If the buyer does not respond as hoped, the salesperson, a friend of mine, breaks the silence by picking up the sales story again. End of chapter 2. Now that we have finished presenting the final part of August 2021 e-property selling newsletter, may we, Madam Sophia, CTM Joseph NG, and myself wish you goodbye and good luck to your property selling career. Again, sayonara.